house goes, I'm 105 grand in debt to get my ex-partner out, and I'm stressed out. And that's kind of like, I was reading Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and that's when we're at idea, and I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to turn this around?
Yep. Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. This is Todd Durkin, and this is the Impact Show. And today, I am super fired up to bring a friend of mine who I have known for over 12 years. And you're in for a real treat today. But before we go there, I want to say thank you all. Man, I don't know about you, but I'm fired up that fall is in the air. It's September. It's crisp in the morning. And man, oh man, I hope y'all are enjoying life these days. There's some light at the end of the tunnel. You know, one of the things that's happened in the last 6 months, I think a lot of people have pivoted and used more of the online world than ever before. Like me, we've got Fitness Quest 10 here, 8,000 square feet of brick and mortar. But most people, many people, have certainly used the online world more than ever before in the last 6 months. Regardless of your career, your occupation, many of us want to continue to grow that. And I believe that this episode is going to deliver massive value for those who are looking to build an online business. Perhaps you are in a career or an occupation where you're already doing that, or you're not using it at all, but you want to have a hybrid type model. Well, today I'm introducing you to my friend Vito La Fata. Now, Vito, I first met back in 2008. It was Idea World, Las Vegas. We're going to talk about it here in the episode today. But since the time that I met him, he's been part of my mastermind group. I've got 3 different levels in my mastermind group. There's the Institute, which is the introductory level. There's the Platinum level, where I have 5 amazing coaches at the Platinum level with teams of up to 20 coaches and fit pros. And then I've got the Power of 10. And this is our high figure, highest performing fit pros and entrepreneurs who are typically 7-figure earners. And Vito La Fata has been in the P10 group now for almost 10 years in that. So certainly a wealth of information on that. Now, check out Vito's background, his bio, his formal bio, and then we're going to dive into this because this has some crazy awesome value. Vito La Fata, a former personal trainer, studio owner, turned online entrepreneur, mentors experts, coaches, and service providers on how to transform their expertise into an online business and personal brand. He believes your business should be structured to be a vehicle of independence, not a job, so that you can create time, location, and financial freedom with security in your life. Vito is the co-creator of the Visionary Planner, Vision in the Vineyards, and has built multiple 6- and 7-figure online brands over the last 10 years. But he's most proud of the fact that he did it all so he could be the best dad and husband that he could be. As an internationally recognized speaker and writer, Vito La Fata has contributed to Idea World, Idea PTI, URSA, Mind Body Bold, Australian Fitness Health and Expo, and Can Fit Pro. He's the co-founder of the Visionary Planner and the co-creator of Vision in the Vineyard and creator of the Hard Chargers United. My friends, you are in for a real treat. Let's go to Fitness Quest 10 right now and Vito La Fata. And welcome back. We are at Fitness Quest 10, and yes, the man, Vito La Fata, is in the house. Vito, welcome back to Fitness Quest 10.
Dude, been a while, but it's good to be back in the old stomping ground.
You know, he's just up the street, lives in Temecula with the one and only Anna Renderer LaFata. And I can't wait for that episode to drop with the dynamic duo. And Vito, real quick, before the backstory, share with our guests what you do now.
Now, like, you know, how funny is it that the world just wants to go virtual, wants to get online now? We've been in the space where we've been helping that new person that is like, how do I go build an online business? Mm-hmm. We take them from no online business to a complete online business in a year. And we've been coaching that for the last 5 some odd years to really help. What we kind of knew the future was going.
And when you say online business, what does that mean?
That means you take your service, your expertise, what you do best, that outcome, that result that you deliver in life, and you package that baby up and you put it for sale in the online world where you can work any way you want. You can be virtual. You can do kind of pretty much anything.
And why would someone want to do that now? Or maybe not. I mean, why would they potentially want to either take their business online or a hybrid kind of a model where it's maybe it is a gym, maybe it's a restaurant, maybe it's a bakery, maybe it's a book, maybe it's a coaching service, maybe it's telehealth. Why would someone want to take their expertise, their service, their niche online?
I think what we just saw in the world, that we just realized that if you only have a revenue stream that is in the offline world, you're vulnerable. So to protect and diversify yourself today is like a necessity. It was okay in a luxury, like back when I got started, like 2010, it was a luxury. Now it's like a necessity because, I mean, next 12, 24 months, we don't know what business is going to be like. World just got introduced to virtual and digital. It loves it. They left because of fear, but now they're staying out because of convenience. And the people like that coaching and service and all that is coming to them in the house now. So now you got to protect and diversify yourself.
So you got started in the online world 2010.
Yep.
So folks, as you listen in, this wasn't a quote pivot. I'm kind of getting sick of the word pivot.
I know.
Quote pivoting. But like 2010, you started to put your inroads, your feet in the online world. Even you look back, there was some social media that we use heavily today that wasn't even around then. But in the last, I'll say almost 11 years now. And folks, Vito La Fata, out of everyone I know, and I know a lot of people, there is no one I know who's invested more money and time in his own personal and professional growth than you, V.
Thanks, brother.
I mean, I mean that, and I don't. How much probably would you guesstimate?
I mean, at this point, it's over $1 million.
Over $1 million. I was over $500,000. So over $1 million of investment in himself and his business and his growth, and not just, I'd say, in the online world, but in just overall learning. As mentioned in the intro, Vito has been part of my mastermind group, a huge part, in over 10 years. Gosh, that goes back to 2008,
9.
Yep.
It's all a blur.
So,
I still remember you up at the top doing your thing.
Remember those days. So we're going to talk online, and I want to make sure we deliver great value in the online world today, because if you're thinking about it, now would be a great time to even make maybe 1, 2, 3 strides forward. And if you're like, I want nothing to do with the online world, think about March, April past here in 2020. Many people who were just actually, there's Mark Zuckerberg calling right now. He's like, phone's ringing. Zuckerberg's calling social media.
Todd, your page is down. I'm on it.
My Facebook page ready to go. All right, Mark. Hey, it's all about who you know, right? We know about the network is the net worth.
That's the truth.
So what I would say is this, is when you look at the last 10 years and the growth that you've had, it's really been pretty amazing what you've done. Take me back 2000, let's say even 8, before you got into the online world. You've got a brick and mortar gym studio up in Orange County.
Yep.
And take me back.
Geez, you go right to 2008, because 2008 is right when I was buying out my ex-business partner. And I had literally been I was on the verge of bankruptcy. I had lost my house, and I was just stressed out to on paper, the gym looks good, but I'm not paying myself. What happened in 2008, real estate market crashes. I'd used my house to help fund the business. So when that ship got called in, all of a sudden, house goes, I'm $105,000 in debt to get my ex-partner out, and I'm stressed out. And that's kind of like, I was reading Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and that's when we're at idea, and I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to turn this around? And that's when you started talking about your mastermind. And that's why I was like, that's the ticket. I
still remember it was Idea Las Vegas. It's 150 degrees outside. As soon as the class was over, I remember you running up to the front with a handwritten application. I think to this day, the only person who's ever had a handwritten application said, I'm ready to go. I want to be in this. I want to get to the next level. I remember our phone conversation afterwards, and man, you took that and ran with it, and have been a huge part, not only in receiving coaching, but also in helping to deliver great value to our other teammates, not only in the Power of 10, but our entire mastermind group. And as you've grown, we've grown, right? It's that power of the mastermind, Napoleon Hill again. So keep going with your story.
Well, yeah, let me make a little point on that right there, because if you think about that, I ran up to you with a handwritten thing, and I was just like, I'm ready to go. If I was giving someone a clue about what you got to do today to be successful in the online business, what you simply cannot afford right now is perfection over production. I was just like, I know what I need. I know what I got to go do. This is the guy can help me. I don't need to go type it out, make it all perfect. I'm just like, right now, take action, because that is the only thing that's working right now. Is I got to get in and I got to start figuring my way through. That would be one of the first things if I was even sharing like that principle of life. Forget trying to be perfect. You know you want something. You know you want to get after it. Simply get it done and put your freaking hand in and raise it and say, I want to go. That will get you further in success than sitting around contemplating, waiting, trying to dial everything in, because that simply doesn't even work in the online world, let alone the offline world today.
So what was the moment for you and what was the year and the moment where you said, I've got to sell my business and I've got to make this change? Because there's a lot of people listening in right now, and I'm not telling you to sell your business, folks. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is I think all of us have these, I call them lily pad moments, these moments where you're going to spring from one lily pad to the next. And I've talked about this 1,000 times in the mastermind, and those of you who listen to me over and over have talked about or heard me talk about the lily pad moments. What was that moment for you where you said, you know what, I'm scared. I've got to make this leap. I don't even know where I'm going, but I know there's something on the other side that's calling me. And the calling is greater than what's keeping me here. Let me repeat. The calling is greater than what's keeping me here. What was that moment for you? When did it happen? And how did you know I must make the leap?
It was around 2010-ish.
Okay.
Again, those times are a bit of a blur. They all kind of come in, but I got to be there because it wasn't yet I had thought I'm going to get rid of the brick and mortar. I just knew this one question because I remember I was thinking to myself, everything I had done, everything I had studied, everything I was told to do in the industry had gotten me to where I was. I was maxed out. I was leaving for the gym at 5 a.m., coming home at 9 p.m. to then try to like study to figure out business and marketing and whatnot. And I was just like, if this is the life I have, there's two things I'm going to absolutely suck at. I will be a bad parent. I will never be there because I don't know any kid that is up at 4 or 5 a.m. and up at 9 p.m. So I will not see my kid, and I won't be a good spouse because I'll be passing ships. I'll bring my stress, my anxiety. And that question of there has to be a better way is what drove me to start thinking about how can I diversify? How can I start making some extra income so I got some breathing room? I have some way to start seeing my way out of this picture. And that was kind of like, I think it was actually you that I forgot what we were doing. We were doing a mastermind kind of thing here. And you're like, hey, I'm doing a mastermind. You're going to present. You got that group training stuff. You should put it in an online thing. And I'm like, you could do that? I was like, you could do that? I was like, I have no idea how to do that. But back to that production over perfection, I'm like, beta, get it out. You were like, get up. You got 60 minutes, sell some at the end. That was, and then I remember doing that presentation, selling the course, not even having it built, and doing like $3K or something like that. And I was like, what is this? What is this? How do you do this? This feels really good compared to what I've been doing. And that was the moment that I said, I'm pushing the chips in on this, figuring out this online and other ways to make money besides I have to stand there and trade my time. So that was the impetus.
So that was your aha moment. We call them aha moments,
Yep.
right? This lily pad jump, aha moment. There's another way that I could potentially scale my expertise, scale my niche, scale what I'm investing in. And then ultimately, when you sold your business, what was 2014.
Yep.
What was the feeling? Was it one of relief and freedom, or was it one of remorse? Was it one where you're like, you know what? That's my baby. This is what I invested my life in. Or was it a little bit of both?
It was a time closed. I remember actually walking through the gym on that last day, and it's totally empty, and I have to go roll down the back, and I'm there, and I'm like kind of walking through it, and I have nostalgia for about the 5 minutes that I'm walking through it, and I'm like, 9 years. 9 years. This has gotten me where I'm at. It served its time. And just shut the gates, and I was like, good. Because at that point, I was already doing... at that point, my network marketing business was doing 7 figures. My online business was doing 6 figures. So I was clear where I was going, that I was just like, it served its time. It doesn't behoove me anything to hold on to nostalgia more than a few minutes, because that emotion wasn't going to drive me forward. It was going to anchor me back.
Yep.
So I was just like, feel it, recognize it, move forward now with conviction. And we just went all in.
You know what's cool about that, folks, is you listen in. I get questions and comments all the time, and I read all of them, so thank you. But I always get the question, like, some of you are stuck. Some of you are in jobs or careers that you don't love to do. And granted, right now, you know, I think there's a lot of turbulence and tough times, so it's easy to get beaten down, so you just want to make change to make change. I don't think you ever make change just to make change. I think you make change because there's a purpose behind your change that will lead you to ultimately more fulfillment. Not happiness, fulfillment, because fulfillment leads to happiness. So that fulfillment, that God-driven purpose that you're destined to have, what is that? That's why when you look at your book, there's chapters of your book. And what Vito just described in his career as a business owner, as a trainer, as a coach, that was a chapter of his book that he's going to write someday on his life story. Regardless of what chapter you're in, realize this: you're not stuck in your own chapter unless you choose to be stuck in that chapter. If you're loving that chapter is your book. But perhaps there's another chapter that you're going to write that you're being called forward to. So I want to challenge you all to think about your book as a chapter where you're at right now. And the next chapter, even as we proceed out of here in fall 2020, and your next chapter, what does that next chapter look like? What are you going to do with your leadership, your training, your health career, your fitness career, your career in law enforcement? Because I see some of y'all right now, you're driving around the patrol cars listening in. Thank you very much on that. So, Vito, fast forward now. Here we are in late 2020, fall of 2020. What does life look like now? Tell me about your business. Tell me about life. And the last 6 years, you've invested close to 7 figures or 7 figures plus. What are you doing now with your time? And how do you impact people today? This is the Impact Show. Yep. What are you doing to impact people?
You know, to piggyback on something that you were just really challenging the audience too, about writing your chapters and writing your story as well, is like, what I would add on the back of that is, do not be the reader of every story or your own story. Be the writer of your story. Where I'm at here in 2020 is we're continuing to write the stories that make up the legacy and the impact that we're going to be leaving behind. Right now, we're at a place where we've designed all of our businesses to feed each other so that we get to be, and I do it with my wife, and we believe the online business and what we've built is the future family business. So we're really out there trying to say, for people that want to figure out, let's say, like I was raised in a restaurant for 35 years, brick and mortar, and we used to think small business was the future family business. I believe that online business is the future family business. So we're raising our son in this environment. We're investing in all the skills and all the things that we can do to pass this forward to other families that are waking up and saying that this is the way I want. I like working at home. I like the ability to control my agenda. I like the ability to go out and specifically create the exact impact I want and the transformation I want to leave behind. And we're just equipping them with that. And that is a life of just utter fulfillment. Back to your point about fulfillment. And we've just designed our day to be like, we call it like Vista Happy Place living, where you get to be like, you know, a lot of people sometimes see like, you know, now we have the vineyard and we have the life that we do. And I'm like, please do not forget the moment. It was actually at your mastermind, 2010, next to Larry Indiviglia, and you had us doing this little card thing about write your future thing. And this is what I would share with you, that before your life shows any evidence that you can go create that dream is when you should be dreaming for that thing. Because I had no right to sit down on that card and write out that I'll one day have a vineyard and a villa and all that kind of stuff. It was just the fact that I knew that while nothing is showing this, my capacity and willingness to go the distance and my ability to learn would predicate that I get there. It took 7 years to get there, 10 years to complete it. And now we're just looking at how do we add on top of this? Because we got the vineyard, we've got the online business, we got our network marketing business, we're investing in real estate. We just got our lives kind of like set up, and we overlook our valley so that every day we're grateful for the sunrise and the sunset of the life that we've earned. And a life earned is often what I'm trying to challenge, because a lot of people want the online world to be this quick fix, this big promise. And I'm like, you better be willing to grind in it until you can get there, because it's no different than building a brick and mortar business. It's just the online business. Yep. So our lives are kind of looking a little like that right now.
So your overnight success only took 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Exactly.
There you go. So when you hear Vito La Fata, he's living on a vineyard in Temecula now, and life is grand. Realize that all started on an intention card from a retreat 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. And we talk about the power of intentions all the time.
And written.
It written down. When you think about it, you think about your dreams, and then it goes to paper. Writing creates clarity. Clarity precedes what? Very good. You've been listening. Genius. You get it down and you start getting that vision clarified. Now all of a sudden things start happening. You start meeting people. You start taking action on things you need to do to manifest your dreams. To manifest your dreams, if you continually persist on that, there have been roadblocks. There are things that happen with Vito, but as he continually invested in himself and taken action after action, now he's in a way that he can really, really impact a lot of people. And by the way, he talked about his wife Anna, on this. He skimmed over that, folks. He stole Anna Renderer, who was a trainer at Fitness Quest 10. Plucked her from the annals of Fitness Quest 10 because there's a mentorship here. Vito was presenting. Anna walks by and said, TD, who's that? I'm like, don't even think about it. That's my star pupil, Anna Renderer. Well, next thing I know, we're at a mastermind retreat in Colorado or Utah. And he says, TD, taps me on the shoulder, up the mountain at 10,000 feet. It was almost like, tapping the father, asking for permission to marry this trainer. So I'll tell you what, Anna Renderer is now, I'll call it the better half of Vito La Fata.
So cruel.
and let me tell you, it's the dynamic duo for sure. And we'll get them together for a future episode also. But manifest your dreams. So the business now. Tell me a little bit more about what you're doing, the visionary planner, the when you're at the vineyard. What are you doing to help people?
Well, our main thing is we predicate the business on the fact that there is a process to building an online business. And we've really hammered down the 5 phases of what it takes to build an online business. Now, we have different coaching programs and different ways people access that. But one of the most fun things that we've gotten to build is the experience level of that, where people come to the vineyard. We get to get them out of the confines of their brick and mortar or their house or their conferences or things like that, and put them on a beautiful location in gardens with fountains, with wine, with great food, and we unlock the creativity in them and we pull out their genius. Because oftentimes you'll have the expert that's gotten so good at what they do, but they've been doing it service-based their whole life. So it's all just like what I've done, how I service to have. But to turn it into an online business and an online brand is a whole different story. So what we're really good at is pulling the curriculum out, packaging it for them, helping them turn it into an offer, build the marketing behind it, the sales strategy, and then we just show them how to actually do the blueprint. Because everyone thinks the sexy. Of course. I'm going to go launch an online course and whatnot. And I'm like, you realize that there's customer service and there's operations and there's team and there's all this other stuff the same way your brick and mortar business had or your job had. Please stop thinking this online world is some fantastical thing that doesn't come with earning the work and the skills and the capabilities and the sales and the marketing and all the things that has to happen. We've just streamlined it for people into an order where we're like, it's confusing out there. There's overwhelm. And as we always tell everybody, random is the enemy of your success. What we've just been able to do is be like, do this first, do this second, do this third. And there is a sense, you ever read Flow from, I can never pronounce the guy's name, Chekhnalov or whatnot, but he always talks about when you can see the big vision ahead, you can be excited about where you're going. But then what stops people from moving forward is, I don't know what to do. What's the first thing I'm supposed to do? So then paralysis steps in. What he figured out in his studies was that if you can start showing people process, they feel enough to take the first step.
Yep.
And when they get that, they'll take the second step. So when I read that, I was just like, that's how we're going to build the systems for what we do. Let's show them the vision of what the life can look like, but then say, start here, and then just do this, and we'll keep opening up the next steps as you go. But this is the map. You got the map now. Do you feel better that you got the map? You won't get lost in the forest. And people are like, oh my God,
Right.
I can go.
Is that called Vision in the Vineyard?
Yeah, that's our Vision in the Vineyard experience. 100%.
Okay. So one of the common mistakes I think that people make is because they're posting on Instagram, they think they have an online business.
Oh,
Folks, just because you're posting on Instagram, and even if you have a great following, that doesn't mean you have an online business. That may be part of one of the strategies or tactics that you use to that. But there's way more than just, quote, building your brand on Instagram or on TikTok or on Facebook or you name it, whatever the social media platform is. There's a lot more. You talked about 5. Could you just mention those 5 steps that you go deeper, obviously, when you have Vision of the Vineyard. But what are those 5 steps?
But I just want to be glad that you said just being on social is not building an online business.
That's the biggest misconception. The biggest misconception.
We were just talking on a mastermind the other day where we're like, your time on social media, that's a lot of time to not know if it hits the bottom line.
That's right.
You can't track it. It's not measurable. It's not a metric that you can know. Did it end up where the safest thing if you're going to build an online business is know how to create converting funnels and ads and things like that. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm glad you mentioned that. Five phases. Number 1, you got to design your signature system. You have to decide what you're going to be known for, what that outcome or transformation that you're going to deliver to the world is. Because today, the market pays for result and outcome, not service. That's commoditized in the online world. So we teach a person how you design your signature thing.
Okay.
Think of, I'll give you a quick example so that can land a little bit for people. It's like Stephen Covey, long past, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What is he known for his transformation? Ineffective people to highly effective people. That's his whole transformation. He built 7 habits of it. He designed a signature system around it, and he has long passed, but it still goes today. That's why it's a brand. That's why it's legacy, and that's why it's continuing on, because he designed a signature system to deliver a clear outcome. That's what we're challenging people to build brand today.
Okay, number 2.
Second thing, you launch, but we teach our people to launch focus group style. You can't, like, back to what we were talking about, no perfection, production. When you're new to building an online business, when you built brick and mortar, all of us, what was the first thing that you needed coming in?
Clients, members.
Correct. And clients bring what? Cash.
Revenue, yeah.
Right, revenue. It's no different. I watch people trying to build followers, build this, and I'm like, you need to get cash in, people. So you got to figure out, how do I make the offer that sells, that gets me the cash to perpetuate the business and grow all the other things I got to do. That is phase 2. Otherwise, you're chasing the wrong activities out there.
Love it.
Phase 3, you automate your signature system. That way you can start to extract you. And that gives you time back in your life to live, to enjoy, to scale, to do all the other things. And again, that allows you to not be stuck trading the dollars for the hours. So you automate the system. Then from there, you start leveraging. You leverage that signature system. You avoid the whole product ADD thing and try to make a ton of products. Instead, you take your signature system and you cut it up into new offers. That gives you new revenue streams coming in, but you're still pumping the same outcome, the same transformation, the same message, the same method, but you just opened up the model.
Okay.
Make sense?
Love it.
And then the 5th is scale. That's where you start scaling the media in particular, and you can scale team. And at that point, usually those people, like, you're trying to go from 7 to 8 figure type stuff. That's not for everybody. A lot of people can, like, stop at stage 4 and be like, I got a nice little 7-figure at-home business. I love the quality of the work I'm doing, the people I'm working with, the transformation I'm delivering, the impact I'm making, and I don't need a lot of team. You try to start getting into big scale stages, events, podcast stuff, books, and all that. You're going to start bringing on team. And I watch people often do that a little too soon. I'm like, push that back, get the revenue model going first, then go there. So those are the big 5.
With those, and thank you, the big 5, I love that. Would you say the first 4 would be important, even for someone that's not even close to a 7-figure business? They don't even have a business. They want to get to $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month of revenue. Would you say that they still need to take
phases
these steps?
1 and 2, all you need.
Good. So many of
two.
our folks who may be listening today that don't have much of an automated system, right? So these big 5, if you go into the design the signature system, launch the focus group style. Now for you, this is a year-long process. When you do Vision the Vineyard, you go deep. So do you believe that it takes about a year to really build out a robust online business?
Minimum.
Okay.
Minimum.
Good.
Because what you can do if you're following a roadmap is you can build the foundation of it. You can kind of go, it'll be sloppy, but you're going, you're getting it up, and you're doing the things, you're growing your audience, you're cash flowing the business, and you're making your difference, and you're making sure that your system is working the way you designed it. Of course, you can build the other things, the website and the social and all that. We teach people how to do all that, but that like layers on underneath. But if you're not driving those top two things, you're just not you're not revenuing the business, and you're screwed out there. But it goes back to the thing. I'm like, yes, 1 year you can get the foundation, you can have a robust business, but it's not optimized yet. Optimization is a whole different thing. But it's the thing I'm always talking to, especially like I deal with brick and mortar owners and this and that, and I'm like, and even people that have been in corporate forever, I'm like, you've been in your corporate career for how many years? 10, 15, 20 years. You've owned your brick and mortar for 10, 15, 20 years. And I'm like, and how far did you get it? And where'd you go? And you didn't think the online business was going to be the same amount of work? That's where like it kills me when like we all got swept into the big guru stuff. Launch the one webinar that makes you the $500,000 and whatnot. I'm like, that's good hype marketing. That's not market reality, though.
That's right.
You need to be able to be like, I got to learn the same skills I had to learn in an offline business to have an online business. And I'm like, if you're willing to go the same distance, where you're like, I'm going to build my online business, and I'm not being like, I'll give it a shot for a year or two.
Yeah.
I'm like, then this isn't vision. This isn't the impact you want to make. This sounds sexy to you. But when you're like, this is where I'm going for my life, and I'm going to invest in this, you're thinking, I'll lay it down in a year, but I'm going to keep going 5, 10, 15, 20.
I love this talk, by the way. I could talk on this for hours, and we're not going to today, but I do have some rapid fire questions.
Sure.
I want to pick your brain. I want to get after it. We could spend literally days. The mentorship, you guys come to the mentorship. Even if you're not a fit pro, anyone that is looking to build an online business.
Didn't we talk a
Vito
bigger,
La Fata,
event?
Yes, we did. We have. And
Till
guess
COVID.
what? Well, we have, but now we can do that virtual.
Virtual.
Coming 2021.
That's right.
Stay tuned. You've heard it here first with Vito La Fata. All right, rapid fire questions. Smartest thing that you've done to build your online business?
Oh, easy. Coaches and mentors. Coaches and mentors. Back to your point, I've invested like $1 million over the last decade or so. I just don't understand the concept. If somebody's done it before, why are you trying to figure it out on your own? Reach out, because today is 2020. I mean, everything has been done before. You just simply have to go to the person and be like, do you got the map? Are you teaching this? Are you coaching this? Who's done it that is actually coaching it and teaching it? And that's the best money you can spend, is investing right there.
What if you don't have the money? What if someone says, I don't have the $500 or the $1,000 or the $5,000 to invest in that program?
You do what we all did. We all started with the free content, because all the major coaches out there put out free content. They have their paid courses, as they should, and then they put out free content. So you go to their YouTubes, you go to their podcasts, you go to their stuff, you buy their $10 books. One of the first mentors I got in the online space, I bought his $15 book when I was broke. And then when I was able to do something with that, I bought his $197 course, and then his $990, and I just worked up and shipped. What most people won't do is they'll go to the free, and because they didn't pay for it, they don't pay attention. But if you instead be like, I don't have the money, but I got the will, I'll go watch the free, I'll go do the free content that they put out, because we literally, like, half the time we're actually telling it to you in the free.
Okay.
But you got to execute.
Okay, good. I love that. Biggest mistakes. Let me get some tissues out. Biggest mistakes you've made. And let's just say in the last decade, you've made, I'm sure, some mistakes, or you look back, some lessons learned. What would be a mistake or two?
Biggest mistake I did is tried to do it by brute force. Like, I just tried to muscle my way through it, because I was juggling so many businesses at the time. I had the brick and mortar, I had the network marketing, this and that I didn't know how to make the business work for me, and I just kept plowing through it. If I had gotten a roadmap sooner, and I understood systems sooner, because I built a 6-figure business with online, but I was in another, like trying to keep it a crap show here that I was trying to be like.
You trying to keep it clean on the Impact Show.
I kept it clean and whatnot. You guys have no idea the willpower this is taking right now. that I wish I'd understood systems sooner, because then I wouldn't have had to grind it so hard. It was my now business partner, Mike, who's like a systems, like even more than I am. He was the one that like, you just don't have any of the automation working for you. So you are running this thing like it's like you're all over, like chicken without a head. And while you can muscle your way through that, that burns you out.
Yeah. I would say two of the biggest mistakes, one of the things that I've done, I don't know if it's a mistake, but maybe it's a lesson or it's a struggle. It's the constant balance between, hey, listen, I love Facebook, I love Instagram. Like, when I post on one of those, it feels good if you get a lot of feedback and comments, and I love that. I do a lot of posting. But there's also a lot of time behind the scenes that's not as rewarding. It's like a real long-term play that takes a lot of strategy and a lot of writing and that. And sometimes I don't strategize long-term enough, right? Like it's sitting down and really looking out of the overall vision. We talk about vision all the time, you and I, V. It's like, okay, what can I do to impact someone today? But the longer vision of the impact and legacy is this, even though I plan for that, it's the balance of time between the two. So I do want to say, if you are posting now, keep posting. Fantastic. Just don't be posting randomly with no idea in mind where it's going. Build your brand, but also, go back to the big five. And that was some great stuff there, the big five on that. So
I would add to, like, because listen, if you're going to post, like, this is one of the biggest things that has helped me. Like, I don't have massive following. I mean, I got maybe like 11,000 on Facebook, 2,300 on IG. But what I always did was know the model of the business. And I led to opt-ins, and I led to freaking upsells, and I had the offer suite. So I figured out the model and the metrics, and that's more predictable than social media. And that's why I just never leaned into social media. So also, we don't own those platforms. I feel really bad for people that are only building on there because
you're looking at me right now. Can you see me in tears?
Right.
You're laughing at me. Thanks, Vito.
Right.
Vito's laughing. I don't have a Facebook page right now. My page with 45,000 people right now doesn't
you have
exist.
Your email list.
Well, I have a big email list. Thank you. But I don't have Facebook right now. It's taken me 13 years to grow that right now. Now, hopefully by the time you listen to this, my friends up at Facebook, hey, Mark, talking to you, Mark, Uncle Mark. That's Zuckerberg, by the way. Hopefully they get it back. But point being taken, as Vito's laughing over here at me, not with me, at me, is, hey, you may have several different social media, but don't put all your faith in any one platform. That's why I've always built my email list. That's why I have multiple different platforms, and that's taken time. But Vito, keep talking because I gotta cry real quick.
Yeah, I mean, if listen, if you're gonna post out there, and you're not driving to something, because if you have if you're posting, first off, you got to have a message for the world to want to pay attention besides like, ooh, look, you look great in a bathing suit, or ooh, look at another selfie of yourself. And likes and hearts, I tried to take them to the bank, and the bank wouldn't accept them. They were like, no, we don't deposit likes and hearts. We deposit money. So I'm like, if you're going to use social media, you better figure out your message, and you better have a method, an offer, or something to drive to so you can actually grow your business off social media. Otherwise, it's an ego play versus a business growth play.
Yep.
So, little social media tip for you.
I call this the 2-minute drill. We've got 2 minutes left. Where is it the New York Giants or is it the Patriots in your household now?
Come on.
Growing up a G-Man fan.
First off, all the douchebag friends that all call in and be like, they sent us Patriot pacifiers, Dallas pacifiers, and whatnot. I'm like, I marked all of you, every one of you that sent those things in.
Oh, my gosh. 2-minute drill, rapid fire. We're moving down the field. What should someone be doing right now to transition online?
Figure out the outcome and the transformation that you're going to be known for, because you must package something up that somebody is willing to invest in.
If Vito La Fata was to do it all over again, what would you do differently?
I would have started with higher ticket sooner because it took me longer to cash flow the business. And when you don't have a massive following, like if I turn to you, could I say to you and be like, Todd, could you come out with some low ticket and get some decent revenue? Yeah, because you got a big following if you were jumping in today. But most people don't start with a huge following like that. So if you're going to monetize without volume behind you, you have to go high ticket to monetize faster on less people.
That's probably opposite of what most people think. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. what do you believe that the mindset beliefs, what's the mindset, get your mind right, the mindset beliefs that a new person building an online business should have? What should they expect? What should that mindset be of someone right now listening and they're like, man, I want to do what Vito's do, but I don't want to spend 10 years and 7 figures. I want to do this thing within a year at a bootstrap budget. What's the mindset?
Well, the mindset is you got to play the long game. You got to be willing to play the long game.
Good,
but
good.
I would first have the belief that this is the future. I think we understand today that the future of economy is online and digital. So, because there's a season of separation going on right now. The people that are looking back, as if it's gonna come back, you're done. You're gone. We ain't gonna see you in 6 months. The people that are sitting, waiting, hunkering down, you're just gonna get passed by. But the people that are like, I see where this is going, and I am full steam ahead, and I have that belief that this is the future, they're running, they will own the future.
Okay. Then last question. Give me 7 figures worth of knowledge here. Everything you know. Last question. What is the most needed thing today? Not just to get through today, but if you want to use today as an opportunity to ultimately thrive again, what is the thing that one must do to thrive again? Now, this is 7 figures of wisdom.
To thrive again, what you must do. I believe you must build the skill set to produce that revenue in your life. Because here you are in the online world, right? You want to go do this. If you think you're just going to come out and I'm going to throw a couple things out, you'll never get to 7 figures. But if you're going with the mindset that producing revenue like that is a skill, it's not Todd and I just one day figured out how to do it. We invested decades to figure it out. So if you've got the long-term strategy and you're willing to say, I will build the skills to figure out this game, to play this game, what levers do I pull, etc., and you go in with that mindset, that it's a skill that anybody can possess if they're willing to put in the work and they have a message and a method to share with this world, you can produce any revenue. Forget 7 figures. You can go to 8 figures and beyond, because nobody can ever take away your skills and your capacities. While the world can take away and a pandemic can take away people coming to us, the reason we were able to pivot and do what we did during this time is because I know how to think through the game. We knew how to pivot. We knew how to do things. It's not like, oh my God, this happened. I don't know how to think about business, marketing, selling, all this and that. And we also had a great group of people around us. Surround yourself with an army of other champions in life, other high performers in life, because then you're never truly alone, and in that you can produce anything you want.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, I'm squirming into my seat over here, because you know what I always say? Will with skill will get you far in life. You got to have the willpower. You got to have the skill set. Will plus skill gets you to where you want to go. So, my friends, that is Vito La Fata. Vito, can you share with our friends today if someone wants more information on you? Maybe they want to do a Vision in the Vineyard. Maybe they want to get involved with the Visionary Planner. Maybe they just want to follow you on Instagram or Facebook or get one of your free pieces of great wisdom. Yep. Where can someone best follow you?
Super easy. Just jump on over to thevisionaryplanner.com, and there's a ton of free stuff. So there is absolutely nothing in your way to say, if I want to start figuring this game out, you got that there. On IG, we're at Vito G. La Fata, Facebook, Vito La Fata. But I like giving away free stuff. Go to thevisionaryplanner.com and get some free stuff.
There you have it, visionaryplanner.com. Check it out. Vito, and former Fitness Quest 10 trainer, and now wife of Vito La Fata and a renderer LaFata can all be found over there. So check it out. Vito, thanks so much for being here today.
Todd.
A great episode. We want to hear your feedback, folks. So drop the dimes. Make sure you tag us. And your Instagram handle is what?
Vito G. La Fata.
Vito G. La Fata. Check it all out, baby. Love you guys. Don't forget, train hard, eat right, live inspired, create impact, and go create your online world.
Hey, Vito here. I hope you enjoyed that episode of The Impact Show, and a special gift to Todd's audience. We're going to do some next level training on how to build your online business and personal brand, but do it right so that you can fast track it this year. Now, Anna, Todd, and myself are hosting a free workshop on how to monetize your message. It's live September 26th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific. So just go to Facebook and find the Online Business Success Secrets group, or go to the link in the show notes. Make sure you enter that TD sent you for a little extra love. There is no more important moment than now to design and launch your online business. And we're here to show you how to do it right with a plan in hand. No guesswork, even if you're starting from scratch. We'll see you there.
Wow. Oh, wow. I hope you enjoyed that episode. So much knowledge, so much wisdom. You know what amazes me is that Vito has invested literally 7 figures in his own personal growth and professional growth over 10 plus years. There is literally no one on the planet who I know who invests the time and money in his growth on that. So we talked about having a vision today and what that takes. And even when he started the mastermind way back 2008, I remember Vito was in a transition in his life. And while he didn't have the couple $100s a month that it took, what we found out is, like anything, it was an investment, not an expense. And today, my friends, I want to just encourage and challenge all of you, those of you who are looking for a bigger vision, those of you who are looking for a support system and a team of people around you, of fire-breathing dragons and people who have the wisdom, who can help you create some clarity in your own vision, to be part of the Todd Durkin Mastermind Group. And for the last 13 years, this has been a best-in-class program that I personally lead. While I have 5 coaches that help me, regardless if it's the Todd Durkin Mastermind Institute, the Platinum level, or the Power of 10 group, which Vito is part of the P10 group, you have an amazing opportunity for coaching right now. And whether you want to develop your online business, or you want to go deeper on your own training, you want to go deeper on your own brick and mortar, whatever it may be, the Mastermind program is all about optimizing your career success and your professional growth. So if you're interested in that and you would like me to be your coach, check out ToddDurkinMastermind.com, ToddDurkinMastermind.com. And when you take action today, I promise you, you are going to be on the path to getting further and further significance in your life. So drop me a message, email me, or just apply and be part of the program today. I look forward to seeing you in the Todd Durkin Mastermind Group real soon.